Hello, hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Today is Friday, April 10th, and we're here for a buddy call. And as I've been watching, this group is meant to create community and have connections, that you all have people to go through this very individualized journey with, but together. So I'm so glad to see you all chit-chatting and finding that camaraderie. I encourage it. I ask you to just, don't be bold and reach out to people who you resonate with and want to practice with, ask questions of, give advice to, all of that. So thank you so much. As we begin today's call, and you come online, I ask you to, if possible, be on camera because I love to see your face, and it does help us, our mirror neurons, the things that help us feel connected by seeing one another's face, activates and creates a stronger community as well. But I ask you to share any wins, and then we can talk about whatever. I don't typically create scripts prior to our call, so you'll see me taking notes. As I do that, I'm picking up words and themes, and then we'll do some tapping throughout the call. So anybody want to share anything that's working for them, and or a struggle or challenge that they might be facing as well?
I'd like to share about this group. I was telling Rocky earlier, this group is working for me.
Wonderful. How so,
It's
Jennifer?
really nice to feel supported. What's that?
Supported. Just I said how so, and you just said it's really nice to feel supported. So you answered my
Oh,
question.
yes, supported. Yeah, what we're going through, and this non-judgmental, loving support from these women is amazing. It truly makes me feel like I'm not alone. So that's awesome.
Well, you're in the right space for this journey. And I know when we each, I'll speak for myself, but when I first met Brittany via one of her weekend, I don't even remember at this point. It's been since 2020. So I don't exactly remember how I got involved, but I did. Um, and just knew that there was something here for me. And happy to be here all these years later and watching the people that have been here, the new people that come in, and supporting them, because I do believe that in this great big beautiful world, sometimes it's easy to feel alone, and to have a
Yeah.
support system and some sisters going through the same thing can be really powerful. So thank you. I'm so glad that this is working for you. I'm glad you're
Yeah.
showing up, and it's nice to see you.
Thank you.
Is there anything you have, that was a nice supportive thing? Is there anything you have questions on?
Well, yesterday, one of the members was tapping on one of the struggles she had, and tapping with her, it kind of revealed a struggle I was having. So I was tapping for myself and for her. Yeah, it was more of uh, a boundary issue with me, is what I was working on,
The nice thing about this group too
setting
is
boundaries.
the borrowed benefits of tapping, meaning as a group, somebody might be tapping on something specific, but as we all tap together, it brings up our own stuff. And even if we're not sure how to voice that, it it helps rate self-regulate our own things at the same time. So I encourage you, anytime we're tapping for one
Yeah,
and everybody's tapping, it's working collectively, even deeper, even more so.
yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
I've added boundaries just to my notes so we can, feeling supported, non-judgmental boundaries. So this will be a mishmash script, I'm sure, by the time I'm done, but anybody else? Lynn, I see you looking for the mute button. Get it, girl.
Whoop,
Oh, where'd you
whoop.
go? There you
Sorry. Okay, so when I was tapping as well last night, and I know the other day you said do one thing for yourself, and I did. I've been to the gym 3 times this week, and that's what I gave to myself. And that was because you don't think about doing things, at least I don't, for yourself, right? I think you're kind of brought up to do for everybody else. So anyway, so that feels absolutely terrific. I feel stronger as lifting weights. I feel stronger mentally as well as physically. So it feels great. I mentioned on Monday, the last call that I spoke with that you were on, and I said like there's a point where I'm tapping and I think I'm at a 10, but I go up to 15. My
go.
body gets hot. I feel like I've got this anger. There's this I had this huge desire to be seen and heard because that was something that, you know, growing up, you just weren't. So I feel like I'm resisting this somehow, right? I feel like I go so far and then I pull back or I dig my heels in. My body freezes, like my legs are heavy. I feel like I can't move. And then everything just seems to get bigger, like harder to overcome. It's really bizarre. So I've been working on that all week, but I don't know
Do
what
you
it.
feel like you're in your body?
Um, sometimes not. Sometimes I'm observing my body.
Mhm.
Um, last night I was definitely in my body. I was definitely in my body. And even when uh, Teresa, got us to go to this happy, beautiful place, I couldn't stay there, right? Like I've got this huge resistance going on, and I need help, ladies.
We can tap on the resistance too.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
definitely tap on that. Let me put that in my notes. I'm not sure how this is going to formulate, but it's gonna.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sure it will. I'm sure it will.
so,
Thank you.
so yeah, as far as first of all, congratulations for going to the gym, feeling stronger, lifting weights, and keeping your word to yourself. That is a huge win. And I think that was from Tuesday. Coach Casey did keeping your word, building trust in yourself. And it was a wonderful class. I love sitting in our coaches' specialty classes and such. So celebrating that you went to the gym is phenomenal. The awareness of being kind of in that frozen space that you can't move. Um, First of all, that you're aware of it and that you're finding that resistance. Thank you for voicing it because we will incorporate it. I just got a picture of like making bread and taking all this stuff and just kneading it, to make something. We're going to make a really good dessert here. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you.
yeah. So thank you, Lynn. And who else?
Hello, this is
Who's
Rocky.
Oh, Rocky. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Well, I did my homework. Your homework for us was I love that about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I bought myself flowers, and I love that about myself. And I have noticed just a lot of little glimmers, and it's like, oh, I love that about myself. So I am feeling really positive today. And last night when I went to bed, I do most of my tapping in the evening. And, whatever time of day that you do it, even if it is for sleep, you can do it in the afternoon. That doesn't mean you're going to go sleep in the afternoon, but that just has it hanging around, is the way I feel, to work later in the day. If you can do it at bedtime, that's great. But I just picked a few scripts that I wanted to go back over, things that I've been really doing well with, because I've got the scripts for aversion to sugar and craving for my cookie dough and things like that. And I just threw in those things, and I have really done well staying away from the sugar since I started doing those. I mean, and they go back to the very beginning of when I started doing this back in August. So last night I just kind of used it as a refresher of the things that I want to make sure I don't get back in that rut.
Okay.
So,
Great.
and I feel good today. And I love that about myself.
I'm curious, has anybody else that was on the call on Monday been practicing? I love that about myself. Yep. Excellent. Excellent. Stephanie. Thank you, Rocky.
Yeah, I know I jumped on this a few minutes late, but one of the things that I keep finding, and I think I know what I need to do, but is my jaw keeps just kind of locking up and just being like really tight all the time. And one of the things that I have been doing, I haven't been doing the tapping. I probably need to do some anger tapping. Is I open up my mouth really wide and then open it up a little bit more, and then hum, and it seems to like so it looks something like hmm. And if I do that, it seems like it really reduces my jaw, but I think there's more. I think there's more that I need to do. So I know you're kind of doing a funky version of tapping today, which is cool. But even if you can't integrate that, what would you suggest?
First of all, I can integrate it. Second of all,
Okay.
you mentioned anger work, and I think that's a really good, humming actually stimulates the vagus nerve, which is
Mm-hmm.
also a self-regulation tool too of our parasympathetic nervous system. So,
Which I do a lot because of that.
and I hum a lot just to remind myself. I don't do it like this, but but I do it a lot to remind my body that I'm okay. To just when I'm doing stuff around the house, and I just want to let myself know that, hey, right here, right now, I'm doing okay. I'm safe. Things are
Okay. I
uh
like that. I
yeah,
like that.
and just humming. There is a book called The Humming Effect, and it talks about the stimulation of I don't know the author. It's in my other room. Um, I don't know the author, but it does talk about how humming does help you self-regulate, and it does signal to yourself that you're okay. Because typically in a fight or flight situation, you're not going to be humming to yourself, right? You're like, you're running and you're all doesn't happen. Um, so humming is a great thing. And especially if the other thing is if you open your mouth and you'll feel there's like a little divot happens right here next to your ears, and you can rub in there. So
Mhm.
open your mouth, find that point, and then you can close your mouth and then rub right in there, right in front of your kind of your ear lobey thing that sticks out,
Oh, that feels so good.
and just rub on that, and that'll help relieve some of the tension as well.
Okay. Thank you.
The
As we
other
all
thing,
have our mouths open now.
yeah, I know it's great. I love it. Thank you for playing. And I have my earrings in, so I'm going to take those out for a second. But also pulling down on your earlobes, pulling down and out, just gently, don't rip them off, but just feel that, and just more than likely, I just took a deep breath, and it wasn't intentional. It's a release.
Yeah.
So those are some physical things that you can do to help stimulate that nerve, the vagus nerve too, as well.
Oh,
But
wow. That just opened up my sinuses too.
wow. I
Okay.
am not a doctor. I do not play one on TV. So that's my medical disclaimer.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Who else? I want to get as many of these. We've got time. I want to get as many input. This is kind of fun for me to try to figure this out and create a tapping script for all of us. Gina, I think you had your hand up. Did you?
Yeah, yes. Um, Thank you. Good morning here in California. Uh, I I just have been so I
Start
really
with
appreciate what?
start with a win. Start with a
A
win.
win. Okay, great. I'm here on the call.
Great. Great.
Um, I liked what I think it was Lynn was saying. Things are seem I know it is the brain trying to protect me. Oh gosh, now I'm going to tear up. But it's just been seemingly so hard. It's like the well, not like she said, but things got bigger. Oh, okay, good. Things just kept get like the homework assignments, even to say, oh, I did the morning meditation, but I'm not writing. Not like I'm not writing it down. It's just like I'm writing it down. I'll write it down. I'll write it down later. It's just I'm making I think it's I don't know what it is. I was going to say I thought it was self-sabotage, but I think it's a little bit of that sadness for all the boundaries that I just didn't keep. I don't know if that makes sense.
Absolutely, it makes sense. Kind of disappointment. There's some disappointment wrapped up in there. Sadness, just keeping your word to yourself, feeling like maybe you're not worthy of that attention and that time and that peace. Um, yeah, just feel into it. Feel into those tears. And Gina, there's Alethea said she can relate. This that's the beauty of this call. Thank you for showing up today. You said that was your win. It's a big win.
Eh,
So just tap. We'll all right. I'm gonna quit tapping. You tap. I'm gonna write some notes to myself.
Yeah, it's kind of there's a sadness about having to survive instead of being cared for and protected. Like, why couldn't I just be loved for me?
I say this in almost every call. The most important relationship we will ever have is one with ourselves. And I think that's a huge part of this work is learning, regardless of circumstance, to love ourselves. I don't say that easily. I mean, I don't say that flippantly. It's not like, oh, just love yourself. I've had years, years of despising myself, thinking I was a deplorable human being. When in reality, I was just scared and lost and felt unloved and lonely. So the truth is, for you to show up today, I love you for that. And this is where my homework from Monday, I love that about myself. So if you could just say that right now, I love that about myself.
I love that about myself.
And that's your homework all week. If anybody else wants to do it, you go for it. Go for it. I encourage it. And in front of the mirror is even better. Looking at yourself in the mirror, really looking into your eyes. When I started doing this, I actually got it from Mel Robbins. I don't know if you know who she is.
Yeah.
And she has the high five where you high five yourself in the mirror. So I started doing that and it was ridiculous. I felt so stupid. And I kept doing it. And then I started giggling, right? I'm like, oh my God, this is funny. And then I started, now when I walk by mirrors, I'm all, hey, sister, high five. And then the same thing with looking at myself in the mirror, right? I'm like, what am I looking at? Oh my God, my eyes are saggy. Oh my God, what is this? That's what I kind of focused on at first in the mirror. And then I started really like, hey, wait a minute. I'm on this planet for a reason. Whether you believe in God or the universe or some higher power, think about how incredibly unique you are. And I'm going to go back to when I was younger. I used to think, I'm not unique. I'm like everybody else. I'm so normal. There's nothing special about me. Fast forward, how incredible is it that you are sitting right here as you? There is nobody like you. There is nobody with your same experience, good, bad, or indifferent. No, even if two people take the same class, two people are we've got how many people on this call today? We've got 11 people on this call. Not one of you are going to get the exact same experience from it, which is amazing when you think about it. So to look in the mirror and say, I so love that about myself. I did the dishes before I went to bed. I love that about myself. I brushed my teeth when I woke up. I love that about myself. I drank my water today. I love that about myself. And Gina and everybody else on this call, how does that feel for you? Uncomfortable?
Yeah. Yeah, it feels foreign and uncomfortable. It feels silly.
Great. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. So let me just write that. I love that about myself. We're gonna make that I'm gonna just start making that a tagline. Thank you. Thank you, Gina. Who else?
Hello, I was on your call earlier this week, and I hope everyone's doing well. It's great to see everyone again. Crazy how time flies by, to be honest. I feel like the call was just yesterday, but I wanted to say that, I did your homework as well. How many hours are there in a week? And I literally just sat down and wrote out like, okay, when exactly I'm in the office, when exactly I get home, when I can, actually give myself at least 1 hour to not work and to not be bothered by any non-stopping messages that are constantly coming my way. And I have to say that I've just become very calm this week that I didn't expect. And a lot of these messages and emails that, I used to be bothered by, like literally a few days ago, I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like I'll get to it in an hour. Like I'm gonna tap first and then I'll do it anyways. And I found that I'm just more productive as well because I'm not constantly stressing about how much I have to do. I know, okay, I have 1 hour to do this and I'm going to do all of it in 1 hour, whether I like it or not. And then I'd rather do, some tapping before and after to feel better in the evenings. So thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. And on
Before
the
you go,
other
before you go on, if for those who weren't on the call, can you just tell them what your homework was so they
yeah, the homework was calculate how many hours there are in a week and basically how you spend those hours and try to maximize the time that you have. And I mean, kind of when you think about things abstractly, like okay, you have a week and you need to do so many things, it might seem overwhelming. And I like to journal a lot. And even when I write down all the things I have to do, sometimes I get like a little overwhelmed. But literally simplifying it hour by hour. And okay, I mean, for me, like my days don't look the same. Like I can be in the office until midnight sometimes. But it still, I go down to the phone room, I go on these buddy calls. My coworkers are like, "Where are you going? Why are you so secret?" I'm like, "It's none of your business. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do the work anyways." Um, and yeah, like I feel like it's helped me put these like more strict boundaries in place, which is really good because I've been struggling with that with this job that I've been on for not
thank
a few,
you.
8 months, 9 months, yeah.
Well, thank you for
Um,
just kind of overview of the homework so people understood that. And
Yeah, so I highly recommend this to everyone. Honestly, it'll really help your brain calm down. And then the second part of my homework was to tap for 5 to 7 minutes before I eat dinner specifically. And I mean, I've been doing most of my tapping in the evenings, and I feel like it's helped a lot. And like all these calls that I'm on are also like opening a lot of kind of new things for me. And I have to say with the emotional eating, like I was able to 50% of the way, 50% of the times not eat any sugar after dinner or like not have anything sweet throughout the day. And I felt great. And then the other 50%, of course, was not so great, but that's okay. It's a learning experience. And while I was doing the tapping yesterday, with Coach Teresa, she asked us to think about our happy place and about like what, because I think sugar was just like the main topic. And the question was, what does this do for you? And I thought about it, like, I don't know, it really doesn't do anything for me because I don't get any pleasure out of it. I don't want it. Like, it's not something that I just come back home and it's sort of like this cycle where it's like, I know I'm going to have it and it's going to make me feel bad. And then I started tapping and I kind of realized that I do it as a sort of like self-punishment because I feel like I've been programmed to think that I need to go through tough times to then be happy. And I think this is also a cultural thing. I'm Eastern European and it's kind of like in our blood that you can't just be happy. You need to go through suffering to be happy. And I feel like this cycle with sugar and I don't eat a lot of junk food. It's just really just sugar that's bad. Is kind of stemming from the same place where it's I have to go through this suffering and then hate myself for it and then whatever to then be free. So yeah, that's also my question kind of coming out of this long monologue.
Oh, I get where you're going with this. Um, and that's an interesting concept that you have to suffer in order to be happy. Um, is that true?
I feel like in other areas of my life, I I can see patterns where for some reason I have to go through a bunch of pain to then get what I want. And it always like whenever I do get to my goal and I do reach my goal, I then realize, the path that I was on was the right one. But then I look at, not to compare myself to other people, but if I look at other people who have also gone to the same place and, they instead of applying to 500 jobs, applied to one job, did one networking call, and then there's me with like 2,000 people who I'm reaching out to. I'm just thinking, why is it that I have to go through all of this to then, get the same job as someone who just had one call and got the job? Things like that. So yeah, I can see the same patterns in other areas of my life.
What would it look like if you didn't have to struggle and you could just be happy for the sake of happiness?
It would be great. I mean, I just feel like I'm a very ambitious person and I have a lot of goals and dreams that I want to achieve. And I feel like it would just propel me to do much more and like in a shorter amount of time rather than, kind of holding myself back on things that I feel like I can achieve much quicker.
What would it feel like if you were, let's say you jump ahead a week to
Yeah.
week from today, which by the way, I'm going to be traveling for a wedding. So Coach Aaron will be hosting this call next week. But let's say a week from today, you're on the 17th of April and you're looking back and every day you've made a commitment to say, it's so easy for me to be happy and succeed. It's so easy for me to be, and while you're tapping, like do 3 rounds of tapping with just that one line.
Okay.
That's your homework. It's so
Got it.
easy for me to be happy and succeed. That's the only line. And
Okay.
just do
Thank
like
you.
those rounds of tapping. I need to write that down because I'll forget, but it's so easy. Now, of course, I'm only talking to Seema right now. So if anybody else I swear these Friday calls, I don't drink caffeine, but I always feel like I'm like hopped up on something when I get on these calls with you all. I love these calls. So it's so easy for me to be happy and succeed. And I think part of that too is what is success? Define what is success for you. Is it your definition of success? Is it somebody else's definition of success?
I mean, it's probably a combination of everything.
So find out what the success actually
Okay.
is for you. Is it
I'll do some journaling on that.
is it a feeling? Is it an acquisition of something? Is it a status? What exactly is success for you? Because if you're going to be tapping on it's so easy for me to be happy and succeed. Like any map, you have to know where you are to know where you're going, right?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Who else? We have plenty of time to take a couple more and then we will figure this out. I got lots of good notes.
It's warming up in Idaho. I went out and worked in the garden yesterday and I brought my indoor plants out until bedtime. And then I brought them back in because it's still kind of cold at night in the 30s. Next
Oof.
week it'll be in the 20s and we're supposed to get rain and snow, but that's okay. So it was just good to get out. It was just good. I planted some seeds too. So it was just good to get out and be in the sun.
Winter sun is one of my favorite hobbies. When it's cold outside, but the sun's on your face. That's just such a joyous place for me. Um, to live in. So, but is there anything that you'd like to add to our tapping script?
No, I actually really like the ones that we've talked about. Like I can really relate to those. Yeah, no, there is one I did think of. Um, I've always freely given my trust and I've learned not to do that. And I really want to be able to trust again. Do you know what I mean? Like to trust in a safe way, to have discernment, to trust. Because not trusting is also as detrimental as giving trust away freely.
Mm.
And trusting myself. I mean, that's trusting me, right?
Right, right. Again, the biggest relationship is with yourself, but I think if you can trust yourself, I don't know this to be true for everybody, but if you can trust yourself, it helps you trust yourself in relation to others. So,
Right.
so yeah, we'll slam
And
that in.
I think that's part of the reason I gave my trust away so freely because I knew that I was trustworthy. But when that trust was broken, then it was like I can't even trust myself. Like I put faith in someone that wasn't trustworthy. Do you know what I mean? So now what does that mean about me? I
It
can't even trust myself to have the discernment to tell. Do you know what I mean?
in another world, there's an adage of nothing has any meaning except the meaning you give it.
Mm-hmm.
So question the meaning you're giving things and just say, is that true? Is it true that if you gave your trust to somebody who didn't deserve it, does that mean you can't trust yourself? Across the board. Is it all or nothing?
Well,
It's a rhetorical question for you
yeah,
to dive into.
yeah.
But we definitely have trusting self and others
Mm-hmm.
on our list. And I want to get to I saw Maeve. Thank you, Alethea. Maeve, I saw your hand shoot up, and then I think after that I haven't heard from Alyssa. Alyssa, you don't have to. I'm just trying to be mindful of those on the call. And but Maeve, what what would you like to
Hmm.
our conversation?
Well, my win is I've been working on times of transition in my days because those are vulnerable spots for me where I can eat. Um, and so, woohoo! It's like I'm remembering, oh, I could tap now, and that'll really help me get through this transition. And I won't just go straight to eating something. So that's my win, and I need to keep doing that. I'm relatively early. I'm still a beginner, I would feel. I did a bunch of work last summer, and then there was a long gap, and now I'm starting up again. Um, and so I think the area where I have a lot of fear is, yeah, I definitely do because my eyes are welling up, is I really don't know. I can't imagine life without my dear and good and loving friend food, who will always be there for me. I'm aware I really can't imagine that. So I keep, I get to a certain point. Um, and yeah, I'm okay with progress being really slow, and I know that's how life is. And I do definitely feel the accumulation of everything I'm doing. Um, I'm just laughing at myself because there I was sitting in the parking lot of the grocery store yesterday, tapping before I went in the store. And then again, after I went in this, I came out of the store, those transition times. So I felt really good about that. And I'm still aware that I feel like food is my best friend and I don't want to break up. So it's where I'm at.
Um, Not wanting to break up with your best friend, food. You
Yeah.
know, we use food. When I say we, I mean generally speaking, not just this group. We use food to celebrate. We use it to comfort us. We use it for feeling alive, and we have to eat. I'm sure you've all heard this. We don't all have to have a cocktail. We don't all have to have a cigarette, but we have to eat. So it makes it really difficult to break up with that and understand that we could use it for everything. I don't want to say we can't. We could.
We can try.
But to be able to understand the origin of food is our nutrition, right? To keep us alive.
Yeah.
And over the course of the years, I think all the time, even the vegetables that we eat now are different than the vegetables 30, 40 years ago in the way that they're grown and the soil that they're in and the just the way they're harvested. It's so different. So we can't fully break up with food. It's kind of like that ex that calls you every once in a while just to keep keep you in their conscience.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Um, so so that's a good one. That's a good one. We could probably do a whole thing just on that one. So thank you for bringing it up. Um, Food is your friend. Yeah.
Can we talk about that just a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. I kind of have this trust issue with food too, because I don't like I often won't eat because I'm like, oh, the food is so bad because of the way it's harvested, because of the lack, because of the glyphosates, do you know what I mean? And so then while it's my friend, it's also my enemy. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but yeah, it's like, oh, everything is bad.
Well,
Everything
again,
has chemicals or it's been farmed wrong. Do you know what I mean with the soil and the spraying? And I don't even trust organic food. My daughter worked in an organic shop where the farmer sold food, and he'd go to the international market that was not organic and sell it as organic. So I don't even trust organic.
well, there's trust. There's that trust word again.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like I don't even trust the food, the people who produce it. So anyway, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Trust. We're getting back to trust. And
Yeah.
Lynn, your comment in the sidebar over here, the richness of food or creaminess. So I remember this. I haven't heard her say it lately, but I remember Brittany saying early on in my introduction with her that creamy foods are for comfort and crunchy foods are for excitement. That's what it gives our body. So it makes absolute sense that the creamy, feeling that void is absolutely doing what it needs to do for you. So, all right, let me see. Whew, whew, I'm ready. Alyssa, I just saw you come off mute.
Yes. I wasn't even sure if you could see me because I can't see myself on my own screen. I can't figure out which control I have on for that. But anyway, um, yeah, I'm tapping because I'm just realizing a lot of stuff. Like even just coming on the call, I found myself, I opened up my little fridge in my office and there was a Snickers bar, like just hey, I'm right here. And there was just this momentary like, yeah, that I mean, like, yeah, I'm gonna sit there and eat that Snickers bar during this call. And I'm realizing, because my mom is in my life because of her dementia and I have to take care of her and all this stuff. No, I don't have to take care of her. I take that back. For right now, I'm choosing. Um, but anyhow, the deprivation because my mother and her boyfriend used to eat all the food they wanted, including the ice cream, the whatever. And me and my brothers and sisters went to bed hungry every night and went to school with no food and sat in the lunchroom next to the other kids eating and didn't have anything to eat. And so years and years of this. So I guess what's happening to me lately is the anger that keeps coming up is kind of about that. It's, the feeling deprived plus the anger plus the, you know what, fuck you, I'm eating my fucking Snickers bar. You can't stop me now. You wouldn't give me food back then, but I can have as much as I want, as much ice cream as I want, and fuck anybody that tries to stop me. Because I've earned it. There you have it.
I've earned it.
Yeah. From years of deprivation, I have earned it.
First and foremost, as a mother, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I'll never hear it from her. So
Let's
I'd like to
pretend I'm
hear it
her.
from someone. Yes.
Pretend I'm her. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't. I was pretty self-absorbed, and I apologize. Now, I don't know if that's the case, but that's just as a mother what I would like to convey to you. Alexandra, were we raised by the same mom?
Well, it's good to know I'm not alone here.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Whew,
But I
this
certainly
is
felt
great.
alone growing up, so much so that I never told anybody what was going on because of course, now I realize, I was blaming myself for everything that was happening, that like somehow must be something wrong with me that these people, I don't get what the other kids get. not even food. Like, I just figured it must be me. And
Well,
so I
that's
developed
our
this
experience.
inferiority.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
the other kids are better than I am, always. And it stays with me, even in business. Like, the other coaches, oh, they've got it all together. I don't know shit because, therefore I have to get like 20 certifications rather than just getting two or three. I'm still going, trying to
Hmm.
prove that I'm good enough and spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on certifications.
I see a lot of us nodding our head in agreement and understanding here.
Yeah.
So the the top two fears of the human species is I'm not good enough, and if I'm not good enough, I won't be loved because we are tribal beings, right? We need tribe to feel safe and secure in our bazillion-year-old brain. And know that all of us are doing the best we can and faking most of it. So, so even when I get on these calls, sometimes I think, really, I'm leading these calls. But at the same time, I show up. This might be helpful. I show up that I'm better than you and I'm inferior to you. So that puts us on equal playing field. You're inferior to me and you're better than me because, as I said before, we all have our own experiences and our own perceptions and our own learnings and things to teach. And if you can show up, in fact, that's your homework, to show up and say, I'm inferior to and I'm superior to. And in that regards, we are all on it's an equilateral playing field. Does
Mhm.
that resonate at all?
Yeah, it does, because I pretty much go back and forth between the two. But as you said, that there's that imposter syndrome because I have to sort of act and step into um, the version of me that feels superior, even though it feels like an act. It just like if these people only knew.
Oh gosh. Do you know how many I am not discounting what you're saying. And I've talked to so many people who are speakers on stage and say the same thing to themselves
Mhm.
before, during, and after their presentation. If these people only knew. So I mean, I'm sure they're going to find out that I don't
Yeah,
know what I'm talking
yeah.
about, right?
Somebody
So
in the back of the room is going to stand up and go, I remember you. I know you. Oh shit. What do you know
oh,
about me?
and we can laugh about it now. So let's
Oh God.
all
Well,
right, let's do
like I've gotten back into music recently and I have horrible stage fright. I'm getting better at it because I have a friend who goes up on stage with me and she kind of carries me. Um, but when I realized, oh, there's all these different people like Barbara Streisand who stayed off stage for 27 years because of stage fright.
Mhm.
And she would still throw up before every concert. Like, I'm like, You've got to be kidding me. But yeah,
You're in good company with with
yeah.
Babs. All right. I don't know what happened. I was at, excuse me, like 8:30 Pacific time, and now it's 8:51. So let's do some tapping. Anyone who I didn't get to, I apologize. It is a 60-minute call. If you need to leave at the top of the hour, I will not take it personally. Even if I should, I will not. And we may go a few minutes over, but I want to make sure and get some tapping in. And so let's begin. So, ah, shoulders back, feet on the floor. Let's see if I can put this all together. Even though there's a lot coming up for me, boundaries, food, emotions, disappointment. I acknowledge it all. And I'm open to meeting myself with compassion. Even though part of me doesn't feel seen, heard, or supported, and sometimes I don't even show up for myself, I'm willing to notice that without making myself wrong. Even though I've been using food for comfort and then feeling really bad about it, I honor the part of me that's trying to cope. And I'm open to a new way. In your eyebrows. There's a lot going on inside of me. So many thoughts, so many feelings. Sometimes I feel very ungrounded, almost out of my body. Like I'm just trying to get through it. Ooh, but not really present. Just surviving. It's exhausting and scary. Part of me wants to be seen. To be heard. To be supported. And sometimes I don't feel that. Sometimes I don't even give that to myself. I don't always keep my own word to myself. And that hurts more than I want to admit. So I turn to food. For comfort and celebration. For distraction. And food as a friend. And sometimes my enemy. It might help in the moment. But afterwards, I feel shameful. And a lot of self-blame. Guilt. And sometimes I think, whatever, doesn't matter. I'll just eat it anyways. There's so much resistance. And this feeling of deprivation, resentment, anger, frustration, misunderstanding, confusion, sitting underneath it all. There's sadness here. Maybe even grief. Feeling like I've had to protect myself. For a really long time. Wondering, why can't I just be loved for being me? Feeling like an imposter and holding that in. Holding all that tense stress in my body. This tight jaw, this tension, holding it all together. But I'm noticing it now. I'm becoming aware and I'm voicing it. And even in this shift, I don't have to fix everything. I can just stay a little more present, a little more grounded. And I love that about myself. I certainly don't need to compare myself to anybody else. What if I just start small? Just keeping one simple promise to myself. Or looking in the mirror and saying one kind thing to myself. Hello, beautiful. I see you. And I love that about me. Pausing before I eat. Just to check in with myself. Just to reconnect. Because I'm someone who's learning to stay with myself. Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when I feel triggered. Even when I want to disconnect. Because I can take care of myself in small, meaningful ways. As I celebrate small wins, because they matter. Food has been there for me, or is there for me, through comfort, sadness, celebration. And I don't have to break up with it. I can change the relationship gently with awareness and respect for myself. Thank you, food. Thank you, friend. I'm going to befriend myself now. And I love that about me. Stop tapping, take a breath, roll your shoulders back, and just think to yourself right now, in this moment, I'm okay. Right now, in this moment, I'm enough. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Have a
Thank you,
remarkable,
Annette.
day. My honor, my pleasure to be here with you. I get so much from all of you. I realize how much alike we are. And I celebrate that.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
You as well. Mwah.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.